Oh, my stomach hurts.
ってなんだお前か。胃が痛いなら腕のいい脳外科医を紹介するぞ。
Stomachs and brains have nothing to do with each other. Why are you being cruel to your customers?
変態は客ではない。おかえりは窓だ。Go now.
Ugh. If I were to hypothetically, albeit begrudgingly, concede to the whole pervert thing and placed an order like the gentleman that I am, that would definitely make me a customer. Am I wrong? If you get paid for working here, then I'd one of your customers, right?
変態のくせに生意気な講釈を。仕方ないな。金を出すなら一応客として扱ってやる。こちらついてこい。
Alright. I was guided to the empty counter, all while being treated like some sort of inmate, and ordered a sweet sake. Geez, dealing with Kureha sure was rough sometimes, but I was probably the only customer she treated so poorly. I was hit with a sudden realization when I looked around and saw every seat in the cafe was filled. If Kureha treated every customer like this, there would have to be kaku sound effects playing in the background all throughout the shop. Wow, they sure are busy today. I took a drink of my ice-cold water and took another look around. You could roughly divide their clientele into two categories: women turning to sweets for comfort and leering men. As for what they were leering at, well...
いらっしゃいませ。
A freshly changed Akari appeared in the shop in her waitress uniform, and the man let out a resounding "Oh!" Yup, that's what I thought.
すいません。
いらっしゃいませ。ご注文はお決まりですか？
茶釜コークと、そうだな。どれにしようかな。
This customer's utterly indecisive eyes were darting back and forth, not at the menu, but at Akari and her getup. As a fellow man, I could understand how they felt. Kureha was cute in her uniform, but Akari's slamming figure only accentuated its alluring nature. My eyes couldn't resist being drawn to her chest. I couldn't help myself. It would be bad if I made a move on her while she was on the clock, though. Damn though, those peachy titties of hers sure were massive. They don't look that massive. She also had a slim, beautiful waistline. You could also say that the line from her butt to her thighs had just the right amount of heft, too. Unlike Kureha's knee-high socks, Akari's black stockings gave off quite an erotic aura. Oh crap, Akari was coming this way.
はい、浜酒お待たせ。
Akari pouted and set down the Japanese-styled mug. She spilled a little, but made no attempt to wipe it up.
ちょっと、さっきから何ジロジロ見てるのよ、このエッチ。
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking of how great that uniform looks on you.
やめてよ。さっきから他の人にも変な目で見られて困ってるんだから。
Ah, I really am sorry, but why don't you just wear a different uniform then? Didn't Kureha have one when she came by earlier?
ハイカラさんみたいな矢がすりの着物だったわね。
Why not wear that one? Knowing you, it'd look awesome if you put your hair up in a ponytail to go with it.
それは店長の意向だし、ゴーにいればゴーに従えって言うし、何よりクレハに悪いし。
Akari bashfully laced her fingers together and looked away. She may have liked the uniform more than she let on. This was probably just her way of coping with embarrassment. I couldn't help but stifle a laugh when that thought came to mind. Pfft, ha ha ha! Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's a nice saying.
何よ! 何がおかしいのよ!
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this outfit looks great on you, so I think it's fine.
キビツミヤ先輩、イチャついてないでさっさと仕事しろ。オーダーが溜まってるぞ。何を言ってるのよ。誰もイチャついてなんかないわよ。それと相 相手は選んだ方がいいぞ。よりによって変態とする仲になるとは。もっといい男がいるだろうに。だからあれは誤解だってば。
What the? It blended into the shop's background music, but I definitely just heard a shutter sound. A flash even seemed to go off.
バカ、フラッシュ切っとけって言っただろ。ごめんつい。
When I surveyed the room, I spotted a group of men in one of the far booths, and one of them was attempting to hide his camera. When Akari noticed, she instantly shot them a glare and briskly stomped up to them.
お客様、店内は撮影は禁止です。
でもせっかく来たんだし、ちょっとくらい。
勝手に人を映すなんてマナー違反でしょ。カメラを扱う人がそんなこともわきまえないなんて恥を知りなさい。
いいじゃないか。そんな服着てるんだから、むしろもっとサービスしてほしいもんだぜ。
そんな服だと？当店はそのようないかがわしいサービスは行っておりません。重ねて申し上げますが、店内は撮影禁止です。やめていただけないのならお帰りください。
いいじゃねえか。こっちとらわざわざ船に乗ってこんなちんけな島に来てやったんだぞ。
ちんけな島？
Akari clenched her teeth and glared at them. She loved this island from the bottom of her heart. There was no way she wouldn't get angry hearing that sort of baseless criticism.
そうそう、外貨取得大事でしょ。いっぱい注文してやるからさ、いいじゃない。可愛い顔が台無しだよ。
Foreign money? Where are they from? The group of men seemed unfazed by her demands, pulled out their cameras, and showered her in a cascade of camera flashes.
ちょっとやめなさい。やめてって言ってるでしょ。
いやー、可愛い子がいるって書き込みがあったから来てみたけど、こんな偏僻なところにグレードの高い店があるなんて驚きだよ。
お、そっちの小さい子も可愛いね。ロリッコ燃えるね。
小さいロリだと。ちょっといい加減にしなさいよ。出て行って。
おお、揺れた。地味に巨竜子じゃん。たまらんよ君、グレード高いよ。
どこ見てるのよ、この変態。
いい形してるね。たまんないね。ほら、もっと見せて。
Isn't it about time we step in?
やめて。取らないで。
Akari's face flushed crimson as she covered her breasts with her arms and was subjected to one merciless flash after another.
うふこりゃいいネタになるぜ。
ああ、こりゃ今月のトップはこの子で間違いなしだな。俺たちが君をアイドルにしてやるよ。
やめてってば。
The more red-faced and upset Akari got, the more flashes seemed to get added to the mix. I was also a customer and would likely cause trouble for Akari and the others if I stuck my nose into their business. With that said, I was gritting my teeth in an effort to suppress my anger during the entire encounter.
いいね、その表情そそるよ。
おほほほ、胸だけじゃないね。いい足してんじゃん。ほら、開いて開いて。
I couldn't stand it anymore. Okay, you sleazebags, that's enough. Sorry, I should have stepped in sooner, but it'll be okay now. I shot a teary-eyed Akari a smile and forced myself between them. It didn't matter if I'd become a nuisance or not. I couldn't stand idly by and watch my friend cry. Hear that rhyme. Alrighty, how should I have you guys make up for this?
なんだてめえは。お前には関係ねえだろ。
Unfortunately for you, it's very much my business, you damn maggot. You're messing with the wrong guy. Who said you could take pictures of my precious woman without her permission? My angry outburst made the whole shop fall deathly silent, but the brown-haired man didn't act like he'd given up yet.
男がいたのかよ。まあいいや。俺は処女じゃなくても食える男だぜ。
I see. How about you start by hitting the table instead? The brunette hadn't learned his lesson and tried to point his camera at her, so I slammed his face into the table and confiscated his camera. If you need fat material that badly, just download it off the internet like everyone else and catch a virus while you're at it. I'm deleting these.
バカやめろ。俺の秘蔵コレクション。
I grabbed and operated the guy's camera with one hand, opened up the gallery and checked the photos he'd taken. Peep shots he'd taken of Akari moments before popped up one after another. Haha, not a single one is out of focus. You do seem to know your way around a camera, but you'll make it cry if all you take are peep shots.
てめえ、よくもやりやがったな。
よくも僕をバカにしてくれたな。
Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the other two goons had balled up their fists and were in mid-punch. However, there was no chance their amateur punches would ever connect. I jerked my neck around and...
おっぱ。
あ、手が滑った。
Before they could react, she smacked both of the attackers with a huge kettle. That left me with a great big smirk. Yeah, not much you can do if your hand slipped.
変な顔で笑うなって。
My grin widened even further when I turned to Kureha, but she looked away and had no interest in playing nice. Oh well, that was more her style anyway. Go on, Akari. Wipe the camera's memory.
ちょっと壊れ物なんだから投げちゃダメだってば。
I tossed their cameras over to Akari. The way she caught them all in midair in spite of her embarrassment was one of the incredible things about her.
もう精密機械はもっと優しく。やだ、何これひどい。ここだけじゃないわ。あっちこっちのお店でやってるのね。
うっせえな。お前には関係ねえだろ。返せよ泥棒。
Taking peep shots are a form of robbery too, you know. Also, no one said you could talk. I smooshed the man's face up against the desk. His two companions were too intimidated by Kureha's gaze to move.
メモリってフォーマットしただけじゃ消しきれないことがあるのよね。
Akari skillfully removed the memory cards from the device's end. She stomped on the memory card a few times before thoroughly grinding it under her foot.
よし、これでもう復活できないわね。
何すんだよ。まだバックアップ取ってないのに。
Great to hear it. I guess we can rest easy knowing none of these will wind up online later.
ちきしょう。だが、俺にはまだあれが。
お冷やが欲しい？仕方ないな。クレハ？
Kureha played innocent and brought over a cup filled with ice water when...
ああ、足が滑った。
Like so, she dumped the whole thing over the bag at their feet.
何すんだカメラが
Ah, you had more in there? Why don't we have a look at those too,
うっせえ何の権利があってお前に見せなきゃ
あ、また手が滑った。
ギャホー
Kureha smacked the guy who was about to lunge at me upside the head with a huge platter. I used that as an opportunity to recover the camera set up in his bag and opened the gallery. Here I found some pristine panty shots of Akari and Kureha taken from highly suggestive angles. We've got rock-solid proof of your crimes right here. Wanna take a look, Kureha? Just as I handed the camera over to Kureha,
今度は指が滑った。
did she drop the camera to the floor, pull a bow shuriken from her pocket, and ready herself to destroy the camera when... Akari?
メモリは消すなり壊すなりすればいいわ。でもカメラに罪はない。何を言っている。返せばこのド変態どものことだ。必ず同じことを繰り返すぞ。かもね。それでもその子たちは壊さないであげて。お願いだから。
Kureha hurled the dropped camera over to Akari. I guess she'd leave everything to Akari now. Okay then, let me ask one last question. You can either be good little boys and hand over all of your hidden cameras, or Butterfingers over here will confiscate them. Which would you prefer? They must have finally given up and put one camera after another on the table. Take out your phones too. They are used all the time nowadays to take peep shots. I gave them a quick pat down to ensure there were no other devices on their person while Akari erased all of the pictures. Akari made sure to format every last memory card with the sole of her foot. Seeing that the cell phone data had been erased twofold surely gave some momentary peace of mind.
Sa, 警察を呼ばれる前に出て行って。もう二度とこの店に。島に来ないで。
くそ、こんな島二度と来るかよ。
ひどいよ。僕のライフワークが。
ちょ、覚えてやがれ。
The peeping Toms gave those sharp yet classic parting comments and hurried their way out of the shop. I could only hope they learned from this and stopped taking those sorts of pictures. Oh well, either way, I guess this case was closed.
皆様、お騒がせして大変申し訳ございません。
Akari apologized and bowed her head deeply to the other customers.
顔を上げてあかりちゃん。立派だったわよ。さすが桃太郎の子孫ね。
やるね、そこのお兄さん。男だね。
クレハちゃん渋すぎ。私ファンになっちゃう。あ、いや、バカ、勝手にファンになるな。迷惑だ。あかりちゃんたらいつの間に彼氏なんて作ったの？いい男を捕まえて幸せね。いや、違います。あれはケイスケの嘘です。嘘。
No, I really wasn't.
それって。
You're my woman! Well, in the sense that you're a girl from class I'm close to.
女子？ああ、そういう意味よね。分かってたわ。
Haha, she was all red and fidgety. Had I made her self-conscious? Just as I thought, Akari was much cuter when she was all shy and meek, like this, than when she was angry. I do get why those guys would want to take photos of you, though. Having an attractive subject would make anyone want to snap a few pics. That's obvious, even to a camera-averse guy like myself. You look amazing in your uniform. A nice outfit really does do wonders. Right, Kureha?
そんなことは知らん。だが、確かにキビツミヤ先輩はいいモデルになった。その服、お前が着ることを意識して作ったからな。そうなの？やだ、嬉しい。
Haha, it's so cute how red your face gets.
恥ずかしいこと言わないでよ、このバカバカ。
Hahaha, but that's just the way it is. So what do you want from me? That's just how I roll, you know?
嘘をつけない。
Exactly.
バカ。とにかくいい加減営業再開だ。奥で店長が困ってる。そこのバカップルもイチャつくのもそれくらいにしておけ。だからカップルじゃないってば。
ももちゃんが赤くなってる。
もうみんなのバカ。
Akari ran into the back room to escape the customer's laughter. Yup, no matter how many times I saw it, Akari was adorable when she got shy. Now then. It was great that I drove them off, but there was still a chance they could come back for revenge. I'd better keep an eye on the store for the rest of the day. There was a chance Akari and Kureha would think I was ungrateful for all their hard work if I hung around after only ordering a sweet sake, but... I sat back down and checked to make sure those guys weren't outside the window when Akari set a second sweet sake down at my table. Huh? But I already ordered one.
今日のお礼よ。おごってあげる。好きなんでしょ、甘酒。
Yeah, if that's what it is, I appreciate the gesture.
それで、さっきは助かったわ。
Sure. Was I at least a little helpful?
ちょっとはね。
Yeah, that's most important. With a smile, I took a sip of sweet sake. Yup, excellent taste as usual. Akari's face was still red. Expressions like this were most precious of all, considering how self-assured she normally was. Definitely a sight I'd love to preserve with a camera. Not of a panty shot, but of her adorable face. Mind if I stick around the shop for a while today?
別に構わないけど、どうして？
I'll be your bouncer. There's no guarantee those guys won't come back to settle the score, right?
でもあそこまでやったんだし、今日はもう来ないと思うけど。それに店員っていう立場さえなければ、あんな連中40秒で叩きのめせるわ。
You froze up when they took pictures of your boobs, though. You even started crying.
それは。
You may be Momotaro's descendant, but you're a girl first and foremost. Anyone would be afraid if they were in that kind of situation.
ちゃんと女の子として見てくれてるんだ。
Why shouldn't I?
そうよね。ごめんなさい。変なこと言って。そっか。女の子。
Huh, Akari was blushing all the way to her ears. Did treating her like a girl really make her this happy? She was strong-willed and stubborn as all hell, but I was pretty sure I'd treated her like a girl from the very beginning. Anyway, I'll be in your hair for a little while longer. I'll even walk you back to your dorm too. Is that okay? Well, just think of it as me showing off to those guys, or that I'm your retainer.
何それ。それじゃあ本当に桃太郎じゃない。でもそうね。それじゃあ念のために送ってもらおうかな。
Woof woof! I will be your retainer, Momotaro-san.
それじゃあきびだんごあげなくちゃね。
Akari vanished into the kitchen and brought out a serving of millet dumplings. Oh, I wasn't begging for them or anything.
これもサービスだから気にしないで。お礼の先払いよ。
Pardon me for this, Granny. Sorry for the trouble.
それはいい子なしよ、おじいさん。それじゃあお店終わったらよろしくね。それとありがとう。あの時のあなたかっこよかったわよ。
Huh?
なんでもない。
Akari replied with a smile, gave me a quick curtsy, and returned to work. I wondered how things would work out for a quick minute there, but all of Akari's hostility had faded away. I guess it all worked out in the end. Afterward, I lounged around and killed time, taking easy sips of my sweet sake and nibbling at the millet dumplings until closing time. No big deal. Good work today. Sorry for springing this on you.
こんな時間までお店にいさせてごめんね。
Don't worry about it. I'm the one who offered to walk you home.
ありがとう。やれやれ。吉備津宮先輩の言葉には説得力がないな。何よ、いきなり失礼ね。どういうことよ。あれだけ恋人じゃないとか言っておいてこれだからな。目がハートマークになっていたぞ。だからどうしてそういう方向に持ってくのよ。何？起きた出来事を客観的に分析しただけだ。昼休みの暗事件、先ほどの俺の女発言、そして夜道を男に送らせるというノーガードプリー。それは全部偶然だってば。だが偶然は3つ重なれば必然とも言う。事実の積み重ねというものは言葉よりも重い。違うか？でも違うったらケイスケもなんか言ってよ。
You know, it does hurt a little when you deny it so strongly. But yeah, we're not lovers. I offered to walk her home because I was worried about those peeping toms from earlier would come back for revenge.
あいつらか。確かに仕返しの可能性は否定できないな。
Right? Akari does seem reasonably strong, but she's a girl, so I'm a little worried.
ケイスケ。またハートが出てる。変態に恋するなど病気だな。
She was throwing out insults like they were nothing. Anyway, that's all there is to it. I'd be happy to walk you home too, Kureha.
断る。自分の身くらい自分で守れる。お前といる方が危険だ。
Kureha sure was a blunt little spitfire, wasn't she?
待てよ。何？不本意だが変態の言うことも一理あるな。確かに夜道は危険だ。いいだろ。私も世話になってやる。
Oh, huh. I wasn't expecting such a meek response.
だが途中までだぞ。それ以降は迷惑だ。
Sure, that's fine. Okay, I'll only walk you part of the way.
もうクレハは素直じゃないわね。
I would have liked to say, so are you, but I laughed and agreed with her instead. We eventually departed and I was on guard for the entire walk. It was, as expected, uneventful. Nobody appeared to be tailing us and we made it to the crossroads without incident.
ここまででいい。道も明るいし、寮はすぐ近くだからな。
In that case, maybe I should walk you the rest of the way?
お前に家まで来られる方が迷惑だ。変態菌が蔓延して30日後にバイオハザードが起きてしまう。
Oh, is that right? Well, okay. Take care.
おやすみクレハ。今日はありがとう。礼を言われるようなことはしていない。
With a final sneer, Kureha turned her back to us and left. The plum dome was just a stone's throw away, so she'd probably be fine on her own. Shall we be off then, my lady?
冗談でもそれはやめて。
Huh?
実家にいた頃を思い出すから。いつも通りに名前で呼んで。
Oh, sorry, Akari.
それじゃあ行こっか。
Akari and I walked side by side under the starry sky. We didn't talk much on the way to our place, mostly due to the questionable mood we had going prior to our arrival.
拍子抜けするくらい何もなかったわね。
Well, that was the most we could ask for.
それもそうね。それじゃあここで。今日は本当にありがとう。
You're welcome. Okay, good night, Akari.
おやすみ、ケイスケ。
With that, just when Akari's face dyed a bright pink and she waved goodbye.
お兄ちゃん！
The runaway limited express sprinted at us at full speed and left a cloud of dust in her wake.
お兄ちゃん晩ご飯食べた？まだだよね。そうだよね。今日は私が作ってあげる。だから部屋に行こう。
Sure, I'd appreciate it, but...
それじゃああかりさん失礼します。また来世。
Hey, owie!
ま
I saw a rather confused Akari off as Aoi literally dragged me back to the dorm. A little while later I took my seat across from Aoi at the table, who had cooked dinner in total silence.
で、お兄ちゃん、どういうこと？
She slammed the table and howled like a puppy as she spoke. Nothing's going on, and I don't really see what you're getting at.
お昼にメギツネ、もとい、あかりさんにあーんされてたじゃない、あの話だよ。
Alright, that feels like a distant memory now.
何を一人で懐かしがってるの？私にとってはナウな出来事ナウ。おまけに遅くまで一緒にいて仲良く寮まで送り届けとかどういうことなの？はっ、まさかもうあかりさんと年頃にゃーな関係に私という制裁がありながら
No, we haven't had sex and you're not my wife. You're my sister and that's all.
捨てた！私という家族を捨てた！
You're really blowing this out of proportion. Our family register says we are a blood-related family. As usual, my little sister was rambling up a storm. I summed up the course of events this afternoon for her, and then...
なんだそうだったの。勘違いしちゃった。
Aoi-tan said that before sticking out her tongue and going, Tehe? Something seriously never changed. She hardly ever listened to what others had to say, but once she did, she seemed to fully understand. Despite her mild brother complex, mild? Aoi was a nice and upstanding person. I was proud of my sister in every way possible.
それじゃあ改めていただきます。
Yeah, let's eat. I stuck a bite of the brown, mysterious side dish into my mouth. It was reminiscent of a dororich treat and tasted like nikujaga. It'd be great to eat on top of a bed of rice. The pickled daikon was cut unevenly, and there was something resembling daikon kimchi mixed in, but oh well, that had no impact on the flavor. Spinach ohitashi usually had a nice pile of bonito flakes sprinkled over it, but this was more like a flat plain of weeds. It was artistic in a sense. It was tasty, but I couldn't help but think about Akari's refined and flavorful lunch from that afternoon. Hey Aoi, your meals are tasty, but couldn't you work a little harder on the presentation? That's all it would take to massively improve it.
これでも頑張ってるんだけどな。どうにもうまくいかなくて。
Aoi certainly was a hard worker. She was skilled with her fingers and an adept cook. It was just the appearance that transcended the Milky Way galaxy. This was a job for someone with some real aesthetic sense. No amount of complaining was going to help her improve on its own. It would be a different story if we had someone around that could show her how to cook, but we didn't know anyone like that. Oh, I guess there's always Akari and Utome-senpai.
なんでそこであかりさんたちの名前が出た？ 30秒以内に答えなさい。
Huh? Oh, I was thinking we could ask them to help you improve your cooking.
ブブー時間切れです。よっておかずは没収と。
No way! Depriving me of Aoi-tan's delicious dishes is absolutely brutal.
おいしい？しょうがないな。じゃあ、葵愛してるって言ったらおかず返してあげる。
Aoi, I love you. As a sister.
最後のはいらなかった。いらなかったよ。でも今はそれで満足してあげる。
She seemed satisfied by our little back and forth, and she docilely returned my sides. Practically speaking, Aoi's cooking tasted good. It may have been a luxury of mine to complain about her presentation given that. Still, Akari and Utome-senpai's home cooking was delicious, and both of them fed me. That was the greatest luxury a man could get. The guys in my class would be stupidly jealous if they ever found out. Haha.
お兄ちゃん、鼻の下伸ばして何考えてるの？まさか。
Oops, I messed up. She could read me like a book. Yeah, your food is really yummy. People tend to smile when they eat something good.
ああ、そっか。 かわりいっぱいあるからたくさん食べてね。
It was a lifesaver that Aoi-tan was so simple. If only Akari could be this honest too.